it's Amanda. I just wanted to pop on before the episode plays and explain that this is our first episode during quarantine, and we tried a new way to record from our own homes, separately, doing the right thing. Amanda, me, made a big mistake on her microphone, so the audio can sound a little bit off at times, but it's still worth a listen, and we hope you enjoy it. And next week's episode will not have this mistake, and we will continue to make ourselves laugh and hopefully make you guys laugh while respecting the quarantine rules and trying to do our part to reduce this curve. We hope you all are healthy and safe and, finding ways to make yourself laugh. And we hope you enjoy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm okay. We're great.
Yeah.
I'm back.
So far away. You're so close, yet so far.
So far, I just saw you through a window and it made me
I
so
know.
sad.
I know. We waved.
We're supposed to stare at each other the whole time.
We're supposed to hug and stuff.
Yeah, and you hate that. But now I bet you'd take it.
Right.
You'd
I
be
would
like,
accept your hug.
that'd be fine. Human connection.
Right.
Well, happy Corona season, everyone.
Yay.
First of many. Is that joke allowed yet or no?
Yes.
Good.
It's not.
I'm
I'm
glad.
gonna say not too soon.
Not too soon. You
Yeah.
have to laugh at it, right? I mean,
Yeah. It's dumb.
what else is there? What else is there to do? Yeah, we barely got home, and now no one can go anywhere, basically come back from anywhere. So now we're in quarantine. Like, that's what you get for going and having fun. There was definitely a few people that were like, still going? And I was
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, we're going. And they were like, really? And I was like, what's everyone freaking out about? And then, like, 4 days in, I was like, oh,
Right. That's what
guess
they're freaking out about.
yeah, this is it's really happening. But no, we got home just fine. So they just pushed our flight back 2 hours because they didn't want empty planes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we're here, and now I'm day 3 of quarantine. So
Yay.
I'm not gonna bitch too much.
I
Not too
mean, I
much.
kind of wish I was on quarantine. I don't want to keep going to work.
You'd be ideal for this. You don't need socialization. You don't
Don't.
need. You just want to read and like have quiet.
Ugh.
And I have ADHD, and I can only do so much. Anyways, I'm fine. I'm not gonna bitch too much. There's people who have it horribly, so
Right. So yeah. So we are technically, for those that are listening, we're in Minnesota, and Minnesota has, what is that? Stay in place.
yep. It's basically a yeah stay in place order, so no one should be leaving the house unless their job is deemed essential.
Right. Yeah. So can't hang out with Amanda. Amanda can't hang out with me, and we're at each other at our own respective houses, attempting to record. Do you have enough toilet paper?
Yes, I went out. I hoarded 7 pallets from Costco. I blew the guy in the back. And I was like, just give me all of the generic you have
Give me
in
all
one
your
shot.
shit. I was talking to, who was I talking to? It was like an acquaintance, a friend of a friend, whoever. She said that
You
they were
consider
at
all
the
your
liquor
friends
store.
acquaintances. You're like, well, what kind of
You're
friends?
not my actual friend. But she was saying that they had gone to the liquor store and they asked the guy, are people hoarding liquor? It was before the stay in place or whatever, and people were just starting to realize, like, shit, maybe the liquor stores will close. So some guy bought a pallet of Bush Light, which was like 92 cases. 92 cases of Bush Light. Like, if you're going to stock up, that's what you bought?
Well, I mean, I get it's probably the cheapest you could get.
Yeah.
But he's probably gonna if he likes Bush Light that much, he's gonna fly through that shit so fucking fast.
Right.
We have
A
friends that
case
have
a
already
day.
drank all their beer. Yeah. Well, we didn't even go out to the liquor store. We went before we went to Mexico just because that one liquor store is like really cheap rum. So he's like, oh, I just picked up 2 bottles and we'll just throw them in the pantry. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, we're day 3 in and we only got like one left. Like, what? Are they closing liquor stores? What are we gonna
They're
do?
not, and they can't.
They're essential.
Yeah. Yep. They sell beverage. They sell a necessity. They're not going to close them. They're worried that if a lot of people don't get their fix, they're going to find other ways to get their fix and go on killing sprees.
I'll go straight to heroin. I don't give a shit. I'll buy all the crack cocaine on the streets.
Sign me up.
Absolutely not. Oh, yeah.
You
No,
need to
that's
set up
good
an
that's
auto ship
essential.
for like a bottle of rum, like once every 3 days or something.
The same guy knocks on my door every morning. Good morning, Mrs. Al. Hello. Could you please talk quieter? Excuse me. My children have been awake since 4.
Don't draw attention.
Yeah, no, the world is fucking going crazy, but we don't watch the news here except for coffee in the morning. So I think we're less depressed than other people because we're just like,
Mm-hmm.
we're just going to fucking ignore it and just do our thing.
Right.
Anyway, I'm just more depressed that we can't podcast together. I mean, that's the basic point. So, connection that we can have for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to find a website that allows us to record together. It was actually pretty easy, though. I don't feel like this was a ton of work.
No. I mean, you did it all, so I definitely don't feel like it was a ton of work.
Well, and I don't like doing any work, so for me, this was very easy. So, which means it was no work for an average person. Absolutely effortless. But no, this is great. So we'll have a foreseeable future of podcasting as long as we have this.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it doesn't sound like absolute garbage. I downloaded it tomorrow and I'm like, oh my God, it's just all in Japanese or something.
Fuck.
Someone eating almonds and drinking like club soda the whole time. Like, what the fuck is going on? 12 dicks in your mouth? Stop it. Just got a brilliant idea so that since we can't have fun and you can't go out to a restaurant, you can't go to a bar, you can't see your friends, that she came up with a new fun activity for us to do. And
well, it wasn't my idea. I mean, I saw somebody else do it online, so I stole it. Anyway, we're bar hopping in our house so we can go from room to room and just pretend it's a new bar. And also, I got us a few new beers. We're going to do like a beer flight type deal, slight education on different kinds of beer in the different bars in our own home.
yeah, I'm calling them, I thought we were calling them pubs. It was a pub crawl.
Yeah, there you go, pub crawl.
Crawl to the next room.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it at the end you're crawling? Is that what that's from?
Maybe.
Like, yeah, that's my plan.
By the end, you're dragging yourself. Yeah, the CoronaCrawl.
It's a CoronaCrawl. That's what we're calling it. Jessica had to drop off 4 beers at my doorstep, and I had to return some shorts to her. Did you see the bag that I put them in?
I did. The bag says gluten and Corona free.
Because I washed them, so you're good.
Thanks.
You'll get skinnier and you won't get sick. I'm all stoked. I'm ready to go. First pub in our stop is, well, I'm in my kitchen.
I'm in my kitchen, which is super exciting because this is the same place we always start recording. So so we're in our kitchens. We've got our first beer. So it is the Wheat Sweats. The brewery is called Bauhaus Brew Labs. It's a Hefeweizen. The front of the can says a Hefeweizen that wants to get physical, and it's a bunch of people doing like squats and shit. Most beers I buy because I like what the can looks like. I like the color or whatever.
This made you horny.
It did. Yeah, I got turned on a little bit.
It says the Wheat Sweats, and then there's a bunch of buff people like sideways squatting. This one guy, the guy to the right of the title, is just doing a full walk.
Yeah, and he's very happy. They all have smiles.
They're so happy. And they're sweating. They're sweating wheat. They're shredded wheats. Oh my God, they're shredded wheats. They're literally getting shredded right now. Oh God, their next beer, copyright. No, you just got it.
Yeah, sorry.
Because they're getting shredded right now.
I get it.
Okay. What is a Hefeweizen?
Hefeweizen?
You have even heard of a Hefeweizen?
It's a German wheat beer. Hefe is German for yeast. Weizen is German for wheat. So it says basically yeast and wheat. But most beers have yeast in them. Whatever, you get it. And it's unfiltered. So like the yeast is left to float around in there. It gives it kind of a cloudy look, and usually there's some sediment kind of around there. Like this can, I didn't read it till after I poured it, but it said, for best results, pour half the contents into a beer clean glass, gently swirl the remaining contents in the can, and pour into the glass for the maximum Weizenage, it says.
Gotta get a cup. I didn't even know they had all these names for these things.
And there's so many.
Dark. That one's bitter.
That one's dark and thick, and I'm not interested.
We should do a play about the three bears go to breweries, and they're like, this one's too hoppy. This one's too dark. This one's just
like
right. It's just a guy drinking a Busch Light. This one's just right. I'll take 97 pallets. Oh,
Yes,
cases.
please.
Okay, have you tasted it already?
I did. I'm really thirsty, and I was
Oh,
just sitting
yeah.
here watching it.
Okay, all right, here I go. Oh, that's good. I like that.
It's really good. Yeah, they are kind of sweet and have not necessarily a fruit flavor. I guess they're kind of citrusy.
It kind of seems like what a liney is. All right, I'm gonna catch up to you, and I'm gonna cheers.
Should I chug it? Are we chugging it?
I just chugged like half of it to catch up with you. Oh well,
I wasn't halfway through.
It's delicious. I like it. Yeah, it is definitely citrusy. It's not bitter. I don't think it's that bitter compared to some of the cans that I've had at your house. Like your husband will be like, "Here, I literally choke on it, and it takes my breath away." And I'm like, "What are you trying to do?"
Yeah, he really likes the super hoppy, like bittery ones, and I'm not a huge fan of those ones. I really like
I like this a lot. I heard people who like really like hoppy IPA stuff are kind of like how Travis likes cilantro and will eat it. And I cannot stand it. Like I'll know instantly if there's fucking cilantro in something. I think that they said that there's like difference in like taste buds. God, I almost just asked when Oktoberfest is.
It's really good.
What month is it?
It's in October. Which I actually, when I was trying to compare and see if Oktoberfest was a Hefeweizen, which we know already now that it's not, it says that traditionally Marzens, so it's a Marzen beer. I'm probably saying that wrong because it's got like the weird doilies over the A, so I don't know what that means. So it's a Marzen beer, which means March in German. So the beer is brewed in the spring, stored in caves where it ferments, and then they tap the beer in the fall for like the harvest, and they have their Oktoberfest.
Oh my, good things come to those who wait.
I know.
Gosh. It is the best beer. There's something about a Shell's. Shout out fucking Shell's.
Mm-hmm.
Shell's Oktoberfest is the fucking best. And I can't. The moment that shit drops in stores, usually it's like whenever one of us sees it first, we're like, it's here. Like,
it's here.
right. We're ready. And that's all I'll drink. And then I'll gain all my winter weight. Yeah, ready to go.
It's all beer belly.
I must say, in Mexico, I did feel quite skinny. I felt great. So
that was the goal, man. Good on you. Did you have literally the best time? Was it like super sunny and warm the whole time?
Yeah, it was. The only thing that was weird is that it was really windy every day, but we just there's like 4 pools. One of them I never went into. I was just like, fuck that pool. That pool's not good enough for me. That's where all those shitty people
Why
stay.
was it like at the back of the building?
No, it was like in the high point where it would be windy, but the best pool, we'll call it the cool pool, where like all of our brand new friends hung out the whole time. It was just more like lively and people were just more fun. But that one was like a little bit lower and had a bar that kind of wrapped around, so you never really noticed the wind till you went down to the beach. But it was fucking like 87, sunny every day. It was never once cloudy. It wasn't like too hot, but then if you wanted it to be hot, you could just
lay in the sun. Yeah.
Which is what you would have done the whole time.
Oh, absolutely.
It was so fucking perfect. It was great. Anyone who wants a Cancun recommendation, Secrets of the Vine was worth every penny.
I'm going to go there. I'm going to go someday. Tomorrow.
How fun would it be to do like an all-inclusive girls trip? Because there wasn't a lot of girls trip at this one. There was like more mom-daughter ones, but there's other resorts there that like a lot of people go for like their girls' weekend. I was like, I want to fucking do that. That sounds great.
Well, is the resort that you went to more of like a couples resort?
It's an adults only, so it's a lot of couples, but then they also do like people were there for like work conferences or like mother-daughter trips, or people went with their parents, so you just have to be over 18. I like the adults only because adults only are usually a little bit more expensive, which keeps like the really shitty 18-year-old spring break college kids out of there that you don't want around you.
Sure.
So everyone else is like just chill. If you want to talk to them, you can, which I literally just did laps around the pool hoping someone would talk to me. I'm like, anyone want to socialize? Where are you from? What about this weather?
I'm friendly. Come hang out with me.
Is it cold where you live? Oh, what are you drinking?
Did you thicken that Minnesota accent?
Oh my God. Every single time someone's like, where are you from? And I'd be like, oh, Minnesota. But there you hear, because you're around like Southern people and people from, Bayou Daddy, like all of them talk so differently than you. So when you say it, it sounds like, oh, I'm from Minnesota. Like it's so because like the first day, pretty busy, normal, what we'd expect. Second day, a little bit slower, a little bit slower. And the day that we left, there was only, I think, 20 people staying at that resort, and it holds 700, and it's their busiest month of the year.
Holy shit. So you said that they were going to shut down, yeah?
They shut down Friday. We left Wednesday. And it's not because people were leaving in a panic. I mean, some people did. That Thursday, the day of our vow renewal
Mm-hmm.
ceremony, because that's what we went down there for, Trump had made that announcement like, anyone who's traveling internationally should come make travel plans to come home immediately, which he was, once I talked to the embassy, he was referring to like Italy,
Yeah.
Europe, like those crazy where it's really, really bad right now. But the embassy was like, you're fine. If you're coming home Wednesday, you're fine, which we were. We were completely fine. But it was because nobody was allowed to fly in anymore. So that's why it got so dead. Is like there was no new tourists showing up every day like there normally would be.
Oh, okay.
The last lady I talked to, she was from Great Britain. I kept away from her, don't worry. Any of the Brits, I was like, fuck you guys. Get the fuck over on that Chase Lounger. There are 180 of them open
6 feet.
right now. Stay away from me. But none of the Brits could go home, so they had to, they're all like, we're trying to find apartments.
Oh, like they couldn't go home at all. So apartments, like they needed an apartment to rent for like a month.
Yeah.
I
You don't have to
mean,
tiptoe in
did
here.
you like secretly wish to yourself that that would happen?
If I didn't have babies, like our Utah friends, I was like, you guys don't have kids. And they were both laid off from work at the moment. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
fucking stay. But when I said that to them, we didn't think this resort would close. We just thought that they wouldn't allow us to fly back.
Yeah.
No, and once they said they were going to shut down the resort, then it got a little scary. But that one British lady, she was like, well, my government told me not to come here. And I said, fuck it, I'm going on holiday. I don't give a shit. And then I'm like, you fucking, they told you not to come here? She's like, absolutely. But I said, fuck you, I don't care. I need a holiday. I want some drinks and to smoke here all day long for 8 hours. And like, I'm like, well, it's your fucking fault, bitch. Like, you don't get to go home anymore. You don't live there. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Una más cerveza. Like, I've said hola to my children the past 3 days so many times, it's embarrassing. They just look at me like, shut the fuck up, you're home. Come on. Oh, yeah, we were customs in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, hi, y'all. And I walked up, I was like, hola, ¿cómo estás? No, no, hi. Hello, I am a U.S. citizen. Here's my passport and my immigration papers. But yeah, so basically it was their fault. There was one girl there though that like Argentina, the president, they don't even have any cases, and there was
Mm-hmm.
a couple there from Argentina on their honeymoon, and the president there was like, "Nope, we're shutting down the whole country. Nobody can come back for a month."
Which, I mean, it makes sense. If there's no cases there, you don't want someone who has it to bring it back.
But they didn't have any of this warning. They didn't even really know what was going on.
Oh, sure.
But luckily, they're Spanish speaking. They made friends with like a couple of the crew members there, and so they were going to be set up with like a condo.
What a great fucking honeymoon. To be stuck in Mexico for an extra month? Like, sign me the fuck up.
But no, it's like the best. Like you could literally there's expats there. There's just like retired people that just rent houses for the whole winter. I'm like, that's where I'm going. You can go on any beach. Like our beach you could have hung out on every day and not paid for that resort. They only own like out to so far. And then they
Mm-hmm.
have like a little tiny rope there that's like, please don't come over here, which every guy crosses to be like, you want some coke? You want some smoke?
Was it really that bad?
No, it was only we got there Monday, so Saturday we went to Isla Mujeres with Max and Chloe, and nobody had offered us cocaine. They offer you weed constantly, like constantly on the beach.
Really?
Like
Just
yeah,
like
really.
they're just walking up and down the beach and
Oh
they
yeah,
are just trying to sell stuff?
they're huge blunts that look like cigars, and they're like, "You smoke?" And I was like, the first day I was like, "I don't smoke cigars," while smoking a cigarette, and he goes, "No, no, no. You smoke? Want to get high?" And I was like, "Kinda, but no, I'm not from here." I don't know what's in that shit. So yeah,
Right.
then I found out they're all joints or blunts or whatever. I think they're blunts because they're mixed with tobacco. That's a blunt. Yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, I wouldn't know, so I can't correct you.
No, I can't either. So we went to Harris and we were driving around this golf cart that we all rented, and all of a sudden this guy's like, "Hey, oi, oi!" And we pull over and he's like, "Free samples," and he fucking flicks his nose and he's like, and I was like, "Oh, is he sick?"
He's got the sniffles. samples.
Max was like, how do you get a free sample of cocaine? Like, tried to get us to buy a conch shell, which we did. It was only $3.
Buy a what?
A conch shell, like a
Oh.
big. It was only $3, and I said, you better check to make sure there's not drugs that we're smuggling
Right.
back.
You're smuggling some shit back into the U.S.
Why is the shell 40 pounds? I don't understand. It's my suitcase overweight.
It keeps shaking this really white, fine sand out.
Yeah, I was like, if I had no kids or anything to live for, I'd be like, yeah, let's try that coke and give me that fucking smoke. Like, let's do this. We
Sign
met
me
this
up.
retired guy at the airport who just kept telling us facts about the country he was from. Like, Johnny Cash used to kill moose with my uncle. I'm like, wonderful. Weed is legal, so I ordered online. I have a case waiting on my doorstep, and I was like, what about that Mexican weed? And he's like, it's pretty fucking good. I'll tell you what. I was like, oh shit. Okay, I'll remember next time.
Right.
Anyways,
I want to hear about your trip. I was going to say, where are you at with your beer? Should we switch rooms? Should we crawl, I guess? I guess we're still crawling.
grab our tab.
Let's just run. Let's cut bait and run. We won't pay.
Do you remember that time we were at Trails and we were all shit canned for Brenda's 30th that she was too sick to go to?
Right.
And then next morning we all panicked that we didn't pay our tabs, and Travis was like, you fucking idiots, I paid it. We're fine.
I don't remember. Did I call or did you call? I don't remember. I feel like one of us called and was like, hey, did I pay my tab?
I think you called, and then I was like, we don't know the answer. And Travis was like, you guys are idiots. It's paid. We're fine.
Wasn't that sober. Yeah, we'll walk out on this tab. We'll go to the next bar.
All right, I'll see you there. I gotta call an Uber. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Don't give a shit. Where are you sitting now?
I am in the front office playroom den bar. We'll call it the den bar. I don't know. It's an office, but it mostly just has toys in it. I don't actually use the desk that's in it. So.
Oh my God, you want to talk about white privilege here? In a time of crisis, you got a woman sitting in her den, probably in a silk robe.
No.
With a cigarette with one of those long filter things on it, those filter sticks.
Ew,
You know what I mean?
like Corella DeVille?
Yeah.
No, I don't have one of those. I mean, I have one of those.
You took it to an evil villain. I was trying to make you look like a Hollywood star.
But I'm not. I'm wearing sweatpants and a camo sweatshirt.
That's actually pretty high fashion for where we live, so you're good. You're golden.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I fit in pretty well.
I'm wearing the same spandex bike shorts. I don't bike frequently. And then today Ever. I have a bike, but today I was too lazy to take them off because they're so tight. So I just put like teenage boy sweatpants over them and just had a weird butt thing in the yard. So it's a look. It's a fashion.
It's
Who
your
are we
look.
impressing in quarantine?
Nobody.
Nobody. I thought it'd be fun to like do that thing for Travis where it was like make a menu up and be like, welcome to Quarantine Grill. Today we're having leftovers.
Today we're having chili hot dogs again. Same as yesterday.
Again and again and again until the day we die. The other night we ate a whole bag of chips between us in like 20 minutes. It wasn't even that long.
Oh, no. It's so bad. And it's like we were doing, and maybe, I don't know if you're doing as bad as I am. I was doing so good on my diet and, eating the healthy, like the gluten-free, the dairy-free, and being conscious of what I was eating. And now it's like, oh, I went to the store and they only had Doritos available, so that's all we're going to eat now. Like,
better buy 6. Like,
right.
No, like, I think I was pretty good on our vacation. Like, I didn't eat a ton of carbs. That was really good. But now that we're home, I find it just a reason to be like, well, fuck it. Like, world's ending. Let's just, let's eat it all.
Exactly. It's the fucking apocalypse. You might as well die happy and fully satisfied on a bag of Doritos.
Right. It's not going to come from like, job growth or social, hierarchy. It's going to come from how many Doritos can I fit in my mouth. Also, I'm going to crumble it on a casserole that I saw on Pinterest. And we're going to go fucking nuts. How much bread can I put in this burger?
Yes. All of my extra hoarded food, I need to make sure I have plenty, which And honestly, my life has really not changed that much. I still have to go to work. And
Yeah.
I mean, the protocols at work are a little bit different. Obviously, we wash our hands like a million times more than we did before. And we make sure like we're cleaning up the rooms a million times better. Very paranoid about cleanliness and shit. But other than
Right.
that, like I still have to wake up in the morning and go to work, drop Jackson off at daycare, come home. If I need to go to the grocery store, I can. But it kind of makes me realize that this was my life before Corona. So this is my quarantine life. And I was just very antisocial and I was just a garbage person to begin with.
No, I mean you're kind of lucky in that way because it kind of gives you like a normal balance. Like I know most of the people we know will be fine in quarantine for a month or whatever, but I just other people who get that taken away, it's like some people that's their only sense of identity is like I get to go to work today, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a job. I've already said that. It hasn't hit me yet, so I'll let the panic set in later.
It's
Well,
still
we'll figure
the
it out.
weekend, so
How hard is it to express anal glands on a dog? I mean, I think I could help you
it's
guys
a
if
piece
you're.
of cake.
It's pretty specific. You said
It's a piece
or
of
basic?
cake.
Oh, it's a piece of cake. No, it's an asshole, Jess. It's not a piece of cake. It's a butthole.
It's not. It's a butthole. You put your finger in there. On one side, there's a little thing that you squeeze, and then on the other side, there's another little thing that you squeeze. And if you squeeze it wrong, it shoots you in the eyeball.
Has that happened to you, dear God?
No, it hasn't. I mean, it shoots in like crazy directions, but I can usually miss my face.
Oh God, my God, you are a hero. You are a hero, my lady. Just taking everyone's dog ass's juices to the eye. Just wow. I bet you there is a Pornhub category for that. I bet you right now.
Gross. Just anal glands.
Express that gland. You nasty
Disgusting.
bitch. Speaking of nasty bitch, what's our next beer? Oh, I didn't say where I am.
Yeah,
Oh my
where are
God.
you?
Yeah, so I live in
Or
a much.
maybe we should talk about the beer first, and then you can give us all the details about where you're at.
It'll enlighten my atmosphere. Go ahead. Explain your next brewery choice for me. I haven't drank it yet.
So,
I have it right here.
yeah, so I waited because you were obviously upset last time that I had already drinking it. So I've got here the Grapefruit Supreme by Surly Brewing Company, and it's a tart ale with grapefruit added.
It's a tart ale with tart fruit added.
With more tart fruit added. You've eaten grapefruit before, right?
Oh yeah, I like grapefruit.
Oh, it's disgusting. I can't eat it. Aren't you supposed to coat
Oh
it in
really?
sugar?
That's what my grandparents did. I'd watch my diabetic grandparents, which I love you guys, like, but they would. It was probably equal, so it probably wasn't like bad for them. But they would just coat that shit in sugar. I'm like, is that worth eating? As a kid, like I was like, you have to put that much sugar on it. Like it's kind of like Rice Krispies. Like I'm not buying them now if I know I have to put a pound of sugar on them. Like no, that's a lot of work.
I'll just buy cereal that already comes with sugar, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, there was some diet I think that you put me on one time that was like, you can have a
Yeah.
half a grapefruit for breakfast.
Yep, and it was disgusting. I couldn't eat it.
Yeah, but like I could bite into a whole lime wedge. It doesn't bother me. I'll just eat that.
You don't like cilantro, but you'll bite sour shit.
Yep. All right, Grapefruit Supreme. I'm here. I'm here. And Surly is a Minnesota brewing
Yep.
company.
Yeah, yep. Yep. Yeah, this one, so it's a tart ale, and you go ahead and take your little sipperoo.
That's fucking delicious. That tastes
it's
like
called
fucking lemonade.
I know. It's a Midwest fruit tart ale. So it's super fruity and it's kind of high in acidity. It's not necessarily sour, but it's tart. It's tart.
Good.
Yeah,
No, it tastes like a lemonade with like vodka in it. I mean that's probably just because this is alcohol. So.
yeah, I don't know. Let me look at the can here. It's only 4.5% alcohol.
Oh man, I'll keep going on it.
We'll chug it. It's fine. Yeah. So TJ bought me a case of it like last week, or not a case. I mean, it's like 6 cans or something. But you can't drink more than 1 or 2 at a time. It's too much.
You know, I could do this. It would need to be hotter out. But like, can you imagine if you were on like a fucking pontoon boat?
Mm-hmm.
This would be great.
Good stuff. Yeah. Very tart and refreshing. It's delightful.
Well, thank you. I feel so spoiled that I got delivered 4 beers. No one's ever done that for me.
Yeah, and you didn't even have to socialize with the bartender. I just dropped him off on your doorstep.
Oh, just remember, I like that part. I can't wait for them to start a conversation with me.
You
I'm
like
like,
the
oh yeah?
socializing.
What college did you go to? Oh, you didn't? Oh, all right.
Tell me more. Tell me your life
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. What's your
So
mom do for a living?
where are you at?
Oh, where am I sitting? I am sitting in my garage.
Your garage. That's
Yeah,
exciting. Is it really cold?
kind of. Ours is insulated pretty decently, so it doesn't get terrible. I don't know. I'm on so many meds and I've just drank so much today. I don't really feel temperature anymore. Just hug myself tightly. No, it's not that bad. Travis was like heating it earlier today because I thought it would be funny to pick my garage because I could describe my surroundings. So let's start with my left. I see a snowblower, a
Mm-hmm.
saw. I see our bikes that Travis just pulled out from the shed, a box
Okay.
for a TV, and then to
Mm-hmm.
my right, I see a decapitated toilet.
Oh, okay.
Like probably a 4 foot tall pile of sheetrock, like severely slaughtered shower that's just been sawed and hacked
So
into pieces.
it's going. That one's garbage. You're getting a new one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or I'll try to glue it together and sell it on Etsy or something, and be like, "Look at this vintage shower."
It's quirky. So enlighten all of the very interested people about why you have so much stuff in your garage.
Well, we're remodeling the boys' bathroom downstairs, and Travis doesn't want to be around the children. So he's like, well, I got to do it. This is the only time in my life I'm ever going to be able to demo this bathroom is today. Now, mind you, yesterday, it was the only opportunity he was ever going to get this year to rake the yard. So for 6 hours. So he's very busy, and I appreciate it. You gotta stay busy in this time.
I saw something on Facebook about it was like a meme or whatever it said. I feel really bad for all those husbands that always said, I don't have time to do these certain projects because now they all have to do all that shit.
You're like, fuck you, fuck you. But I don't even have a list for him. He was like, do you have anything you want me to do while I'm home for? This is when he was gonna be home for 14 days.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to do around here? I was like, nothing. I want you to like enjoy. Like, the one thing I said is, we always say we wish we had more time together as a family, and like we get to have that right now. Like, that's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. I changed my mind now, but then I said that. So I was like, no, I don't have anything to do. But like this one sign, I made this like homemade sign that fell off the wall and almost killed Oliver when he was crawling. So it's been sitting in a closet. I was like, screw this thing into the wall. That's the only thing I want you to do right now. And then 2 hours later, after I'm hungry, I have whatever. He's like, I gotta go clean up that wood pile. I'm never gonna be able to get that done. I gotta burn today. It's my only burn day. I Googled it. There was a burning ban yesterday. I was like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, you're not even supposed to be having fires right now. And he's like, that's bullshit. Those are professional fires. This is a wreck fire. So yeah, I'm in my garage. And you're in your den.
I turned off the light so I could watch out the front window, but there's just kind of snow on the ground, and I don't like it.
Yeah, when we were recording the last segment, Travis walked in the kitchen holding, like, I don't know, at least a grapefruit size ball of snow. And he's like, whispered to me, it's snowing. I was like, I could fucking see that. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying what's in your
I have
hand.
a huge sliding glass door next to me. I'm well aware of the weather. He's looked at the weather 7 times today. I hate when people do that constantly. They're like, "Oh, looks like instead of 3 o'clock today, the snow's gonna be hitting about 4:40." I'm like, "Why do I give a shit?
Why does it matter?
I don't care what you're doing. I don't know.
The
I would
only
never."
time I check the weather that frequently is on like Jackson's birthday party or something.
That's it. Yeah, it's that, or if I have to drive 6 hours somewhere, which is fucking never. So I literally
Mm-hmm.
would never check the weather. I would just be like, I would walk outside and be like, oh well, this is today. That's nice. I guess I'll just go about my day like I would no matter fucking what.
Right.
I'm not gonna wear a warm coat. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna wear my fucking tank top and then throw a light hoodie on and it's 10 below.
I'll live. It'll be fine.
I got it. When can we hang out, actually, you think? Do we have to listen to the full 2 weeks, or do you think we have to be like... I saw friends that were, like, kind of having happy hours in their yards, just, like, spaced in a circle. Like,
I
that would
don't
be
think that
fun.
that's allowed. I think
Oh.
that people were doing that improperly. You're not supposed to. If you don't live with the person, you shouldn't be socializing with them.
Mm.
You should literally only be going out to grocery shop. And if you had shopped properly and overstocked your pantry like you should have, then there's literally no reason you should be leaving the house.
Okay. This is my worst
And
nightmare.
I have to go to work, so I have the potential to be newly exposed each day. So, I mean, if that were the case, I would say that's fine. Yeah, you and I could hang out. But since you did just come back from Mexico, we probably need to wait 2 weeks to make sure that you don't have something.
Okay. And I respect you for going to work, so I will do my part and not. I just don't like it. I was like, wouldn't it be a really funny bit? I was talking about Kyle and Melissa's house because they have like a public sidewalk that's like a pretty good distance from their house. I was like, what if we just went there and just like put a cooler down and 2 lawn chairs and we just watched their house until they noticed that we were sitting there? Hey, what's up, guys?
That's not creepy or anything. And that would be, that would essentially be fine because you're away from them. And as long as they stay at least 6 feet apart or away from you, then that's fine, I guess. As long as you're not hanging out with them right next to them.
Yeah. I would have so much time of like nothing that I should dump it into something creative, right? Like I'm definitely going to write a book. I'm definitely going to, focus on like podcast episodes and being creative or whatever. But I was like, there's always things I've wanted to do. Like I've always wanted to write like a stand-up bit. Not that I'm ever going to do it, but I'll just do it in my bathroom.
You can do it for us in podcast land. We can hear your stand-up as long as you 0% expect me to reciprocate because I'm not doing that.
No, I wouldn't expect you to do that. Jessica would walk onto a stage. She'd be like, "How y'all doing tonight?" I don't really care. Can I go home now? Is this enough? Did I do it?
I'm gonna go. Bye.
Guy walks into a bar.
No, I think the correct answer is I wouldn't actually go out on that stage at all.
I'd love to do that, man. So yeah, so I was like, I'll just do that. He's like, what should I do? I was like, I don't know, write a book on something boring. Like, I don't know, fucking figure it out. But now he's going back to
We have Amazon Prime right now, so we started watching Jack Ryan. It's like 2 seasons of, I don't know.
Is that with the guy for The Office?
Yeah, with John Krasinski. It's got Jim in it, and he's smoking hot. So TJ actually, he grabbed my Kindle and he was like, how do I find this book on here? Because it's based off of all these Tom Clancy novels. So I actually bought the book for him. He's gonna start reading a book.
Oh wow! Is there pictures?
I know.
No, just kidding.
No, there's none. There's none. That's why I'm so surprised. There's none pictures.
He's like reading it, an audiobook with subtitles. He's like, it's going too fast. Travis has been reading this one naval book for 2 years, and he put it in his carry-on, and I was like, all right, you gonna finish that there? He's like, yes, my goal is to finish this on vacation. He didn't take it out of that fucking bag.
I was gonna say, he didn't pick it up once, did he?
No. He like shuffled it around to find his chapstick. He was like, get this fucking book out of here.
How'd this book even get in here?
I'm too distracted. Like anytime there's like a hoot or a holler, I'm like, oh, what's going on over there? Can't read right now.
I would have been the total opposite. Just sitting on a lounge chair reading 8 books, a book a day. Sign me up. In fact, I read like 2 or 3 books while you were gone.
Really? Because you had so much free time.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do.
I don't have to do any podcast shit because we're caught up. Like I don't have to read the smut book yet. I have so many other books I can read right now.
I know. There was a Jessica there though at the resort. She was in the pool I never went into. I don't know if she spoke English.
Then how did you know her name, you fucking creeper?
No, she's a Jessica. She's a reader.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
I thought you just meant like there's this chick named Jessica that I like stalked the whole time.
It would be really awkward if I knew her name but never talked to her. No, but she always had like 2 or 3 books next to her, and she would switch between them. Like she might get bored of one, and then she'd pick up another one. I'm like, how do you know what you're on right now? Like,
yeah, I mean, I could maybe do like 1 or 2 if there was a like a specific reason to be switching between, oh, you know what? I bet I know what it is. So I do the same thing. So there's like a good book with a plot and a storyline, and you're really into it and it's interesting and that's great. And then there's also a book that's basically porn. So you can only read them at certain intervals. Like when you want to get like all turned up and splashy, then you read the porn one. And but then like when you need to cool off and like be in the normal world, you read your plot book.
Oh my god.
So I get
this
it.
super conservative, quiet girl that spoke to no one was actually just fucking like dying inside because she was so horny, and she was like, better
Right.
get back to that Anne Frank novel. Like, I
She's
gotta
like,
calm
I'm
down a
so
bit.
splashy and turned on right now. I need to go swim a couple laps in the pool,
I'll
cool
just
off for a
read
minute.
this book on how to rewire my house. I can't stop coming.
I need to calm down. That's exactly
That's
it.
hilarious.
I
Huh?
get her. I get it.
She was you, and you are her. I will
Mm-hmm.
find her again. Feel like you just meet her and you're like, I am. You have that thing where it starts getting all like warm and tight, and then you have to stop. She's like, exactly. That's why I read Boeing 737 instruction manuals.
Right.
No. Well, yeah, I wish I would. I mean, now like that it's over. I had so much fun, but I wish I would have like maybe taken a second to chill. I tried to take a nap. I never took a nap, not once.
Why didn't you take a nap?
I couldn't chill. I was just so excited the whole time. I was just so happy to be there. I was like, why would I sleep right now? Everything's so beautiful and warm. Like, I'll sleep tonight. And then it'd be like 1 a.m. I'm like, why would I go to bed? Everything's so fun. And then it's 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm up. I'm up.
I mean, it sounds like you used your time wisely, but also not wisely enough.
Never. But it was so much fun. I can't wait to go back. We have to plan like I say friend trip. I just meet females,
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to travel with a crowd. Let's just have some few cool people. We like weed them out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, sorry, you can't come. You can't go.
We have an interview process.
You're gonna want to eat at 5:30, and I don't want to eat till 9. Like, I don't.
I'm not about that life.
All
I
right,
don't want to
then
go
you
to
wanna eat
bed
dinner.
at 7:30.
Nope. You want to sit in the shade? Absolutely not. Fuck you. Get out of here. Oh, this beer is really good. This is a great thing. I'm gonna have to edit a lot out of this. Okay, this beer is.
That's okay. Yeah, I was gonna check where you're at. I'm only like halfway through this beer, but it's also I don't know if I can chug it.
What do you say, huh? It's getting a little chilly out here. Should we move on to the next bar?
Next bar, next beer.
Yes, I was thinking if I had a really good story to tell you, and I do. So I'll delight you with that next.
I can't wait.
All right, I'll see you there.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hi.
Is it you?
Is it you? I don't even know that song.
You don't know.
Hello.
Jessica.
It's me. Oh, fuck.
Help me. I tell you what, 2 beers in, I feel pretty good.
I'm having a great time. I love bar hopping. I love beer crawls. This is a great time.
It's great.
So we're at bar 3. We've got beer number 3. This beer here, and I'll go over it quick so that you can sip it, is called Coffee Shop Assault Vehicle.
I love this. I love this for one because it's local, but I also love the can the most. It's my favorite can.
Yeah, the can. Well, and you can. I mean, it's from Lupulin Brewing, which is right here in our hometown of Big Lake. And so the guy on the can, what do you call this looking guy here?
He's a hipster.
Yeah, okay, hipster.
Yeah, he's like a punk hipster. He's got like full tattoo sleeves, big ass beard, a long curly mustache, and he's wearing like a beanie on a moped with a cat.
On a moped, there's a cat on the front of the moped. Okay, yeah, so hipster, that was the word I was looking for. So, and then on the bottle here, it says, or on the can, it says, we worked with Paradise Roasters to source green coffee beans, which we aged in a bourbon barrel. After aging the beans, they were then roasted and infused into the beer with a heavy dose of cacao nibs. I don't know what that is.
Oh my God. Hold on 1 second. Did I know a word that you didn't?
Yes. I don't know what that is.
Oh my God. I'm so happy right now.
It's approximately this many minutes in on this day at this time.
I'm going to find out the date to the minute Well, okay, keep going.
Absolutely.
Cacao.
You, man. Cacao. I don't know what's cacao. It's not like cocoa.
It's like cocoa. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, the barrel aged coffee beans brings out hints of vanilla and wood to complement the coffee and chocolate flavor. Now it's an imperial stout, which basically means it's like the strongest beer of all time.
Also means it's a Star Wars beer. Oh my god.
Of course.
The Imperial
Of
Army.
course. Yes, of course. So it's very dark, and all of the stout beers have what they call a malty flavor, malt flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And the term imperial stout versus just like a regular stout. So imperial refers to it being more extreme in flavor, as far as like malt and hops and alcohol than compared to other stouts. And this one is 11% alcohol. So
Yep, I'm reading that right now. That's why I went, ooh.
and I don't usually like stouts, so I don't know.
You have to say, you're not a huge coffee person unless it's mixed with like fucking whipped cream, sugar,
Lots of
pumps
chocolate.
of sugar.
Which
And then
this
you're
one
like,
says
this
it's
is
got
coffee.
chocolate in it, so we'll see.
I'm excited. I'm gonna do a sniff first. Will you sniff with me? Have you ever tried this?
No, I haven't.
Okay, take a. Ooh.
Oh shit.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's boozy. You can't drink more than like one of these fuckers.
Nope.
I'm gonna drink this for breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah, quarantine breakfast.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
Is it.
Yep.
Anyone who's bought PBR, that Pabst Blue Ribbon coffee beer, it's garbage. It's absolute garbage. We kept seeing people post like, "Oh my god, this shit's amazing for like day drinking on a weekend." No, it tastes bad.
PBR?
It tastes very
Somebody
bad.
said PBR was really delicious.
Yeah, somebody did. Oh, that's a hipster beer. Everyone in fucking Minneapolis is like, I love me a Pabst Sunrise. I'm like, that's disgusting. First of all, don't say. Why are they calling it Pabst? That just makes me think of Pabst beer. Stop it. I just got a notification that I'm due for one. I was like,
You don't have to get those for like 3 to 5 years now, instead of before they were like once a year, once every other year. You can extend that shit out now.
right. If I was getting like jizz blasted every night, I'd go a lot, but I'm not doing that.
Bro, it's to check for cancer, not for STDs.
I don't want to know if I have cancer. That's
Yeah,
the
you
thing. I'm
do.
just like, no thing. Well, yeah. I'm just gonna get my cervix removed like next year. So that's my big picture.
Problem
Like,
solved.
fuck cervical cancer. Just get rid of that shit. What's next? My tits? Take them. I don't know. Give me
Take
better
them
ones.
and then give me larger fake ones.
Oh, Jess, I met. What do we call her? Oh, we called her Fox. That was her last name, but she was like a cougar, hot older lady, right?
Right.
And I would have never, in a million years, thought that she had fake boobs.
Why?
No, just because they just look, they were good, but they didn't have that
normal.
like halo shape to them, you know, like with really fake tits. They have like that. Why are they sitting like that kind of shape? You know.
Why are they right under her
there?
chin?
They look like two party balloons that are just haven't fallen from the Walmart ceiling yet. Like, come on, someone's got to take that one down. Stop it. But I didn't even pass my mind. It just was like, you know, the whole comment between like the girls at the pool were like, "That's goals." Like, I hope I look like that when I'm older. So the part we ended up talking because some guy was singing Michael Bublé, "I Want to Go Home." Well, that's mean. All of us really hope we get to go home tomorrow. Like, we don't know what could happen. So anyone with children are just crying on one bench in the bar, like, "I want to go home too." Anyways, all of a sudden she goes, "You know, if you ever get a boob job, this is how you do it." It was brought up so randomly. She said instead of getting implants, you have under tissue implants. So you go like really deep behind your natural boob to pull your real boob forward.
Oh.
And she was like, it hurts way more and it's a way more intense process. But she goes, these puppies have lasted 25 years. And I was like, hell yeah.
That sounds so that must be like a newer procedure, a newer kind of protocol.
No, she said it was 25 years ago.
Oh,
she said you can like choose to have the implant put like into your body, like way deeper.
That sounds dangerous.
Way better. This is some advice for you. I'm going to be in the market soon.
Absolutely.
Well, not right now. Corona, you can't. They don't let you have titties.
They don't let you do shit with Corona, man. I mean, I knew it. I knew that they weren't letting you do anything, but then I heard on the radio something like, oh, and all these tattoo shops are closed. Not that it matters. Not that I'm going to get a tattoo anytime soon, but I fucking want to.
Right. Well, I'm supposed to finish my right arm in May for our 30th, and he's supposed to get his first arm piece. So hopefully that shit opens up.
Mm-hmm.
There was a girl I went to high school with who's been waiting forever for the surgery, and then they're like, "Yeah, Corona, you're not gonna be able to get it unless you can come here today." And she like got to the hospital as soon as possible and got this
Right.
like surgery done where they had to like
Yeah,
chop up
I'm
her
on.
family.
Turns out I'm already on the way. Yeah, they canceled so much shit. Like I follow, and I know we have talked about before. Like I wanted to get pregnant again. They are canceling everything, all procedures, all sorts of stuff. Because I follow a couple groups on Facebook of like women that are infertile and doing IVF and all that stuff. Which I'm not going to do IVF ever again. But all these poor women had their fucking cycles canceled. They couldn't, even if they were, even if they were on the last day of their injections and it's like, tomorrow you're supposed to ovulate and get your egg retrieval. Like they canceled everything for all these poor women. And I felt so bad, and I was annoyed. I knew it was going to happen, but I was annoyed because it was supposed to be like my first cycle for like these meds, take a bunch of drugs, ovulate, have a baby, whatever. So I couldn't even do any of that, even though it wasn't involving any sort of like anesthetic or surgical procedure. They canceled everything for everybody.
Why? Because they can't like track it, or
Yeah,
why can't you take
so
it at home?
Well, because they need you to come in to do like ultrasounds. They want to look at your ovaries, and then they want to give you all of these drugs, and they want to look at your ovaries again. And then as long as everything looks okay, then they give you some more drugs to make you ovulate, or some more drugs to do this, or they cancel your cycle because you have too many follicles or whatever. So they want to be able to monitor that, and because you can't come in and interact with people, they canceled everything. Which I'm not, like I said, I'm not even that mad about me, but I feel so bad for like all those other people that have, all those other procedures and things that they wanted to do, or things that, they were almost there. They could have.
You should feel bad for yourself. That's terrible, Jess.
Well,
That's
it's
bad. Like, that sucks for you. No, it does suck for you. You never take pity on yourself, but that sucks for you. That sucks. You can say that sucks.
It does. But honestly, I found some drugs in my drawer from like 5 years ago that I took anyway. So.
You're gonna be Octomom next.
Right. That's
Expired.
like a minor fear of mine, but it's definitely possible.
Oh yeah. Have all the babies.
Right. Well, if I'm Octomom, like, you have to take at least half of them.
Oh my god, I've seen your babies. I will take half of them. You're just gonna give me all
cute.
the boys. You'll take the 4 girls, and I'll get the 4 boys.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes.
My kids will eventually have like super, super dark brown black hair, and your kids will still be bleach blonde.
Right.
Fucking
Mommy,
Cali kids.
why do we look like Auntie Yaya's daughters?
Because mommy impregnated Auntie Yaya. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Because you're a towhead. Is that what they call it now? Towheads?
Yes,
Or
that's what
did?
they were called. That's what they're called. All the blonde babies. Ugh. Yeah, so I took my super expired drugs. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I took them anyway.
Did we say what rooms we're in even?
No, I think we got sidetracked.
Well, yeah, we should say what room we're in. What room are you in? I don't even know.
Where am I? What bar am I at, Amanda?
Describe the room lightly, and then I will guess.
Okay, so there is tannish paint on the wall and some brown stained woodwork. There's also
You're in your living room.
no. There's also a lot of shoes.
Oh, you're in you're in your fucking mud room?
I'm sitting on the floor.
This whole time we're rambling, Jessica's like, my ass hurts.
Right, my butt's falling asleep. I was gonna sit on TJ's coat because it's like a big fluffy Carhartt coat, but then I picked it up and it's also super heavy, and he's got his fucking gun in the pocket, and I'm like, I can't sit on that. That's not comfortable at all. Well,
Is it loaded?
I didn't check. Okay. But I'm gonna yell at him because it's just in the entryway.
I will dump my savings right now if you just pull the trailer into the garage door right now, because I know it's to the right of you. Just
No. Just a desk pop.
Yeah, it's a desk pop. You gotta do a mudroom pop.
I'm not that dumb.
Okay, I will lightly describe where I am. I see a water bottle that matches a water bottle to my left.
Oh dear. Okay.
The one on my right matches the one to my left. I see 2 matching lamps. Men's Apple Watch charging next to me.
Your bedroom?
I see a picture frame. Yeah, I'm in my bedroom.
Oh.
I was about to say, I see a picture frame of my face 7 times. Wow, that's obnoxious.
Are you naked?
No, I'm not naked. Typically am. Only sleep in the nude. Have to really be aware of when the children are coming upstairs, because I can't sleep with clothes on. Can't do it anymore.
Do you wake up in the morning before they do?
Typically. Yeah, Hunter has an alarm clock that he's not supposed to leave the room before, but the other day I got up before Hunter and I was like, oh, that's funny. When Travis got up from the couch last night, the remote like stuck out of the couch on the side.
Yeah.
So I pulled it out and put it on the dresser. Then I got Ollie up, and then Hunter got up at his time. I was like, good morning, honey. And he's like, the remote was in the couch this morning. And I looked at him, and I was like, how did you know that? And he looked at me with huge owl eyes, like, fuck. I just gave myself away. I was like, what time were you up here? He goes, I don't really know. I was like, for how long? He's like, I just kind of walked around. I was in your room for a while. I was like, what the fuck? Do I just have two titties out? Or Travis has got like a ball hanging? I can't take him to the doctor. We're really worried about his sleep. I think he has like my sleepwalking disorder. I think he just walks around. I think he wakes up and he's like, oh, time for the day. And then he's just clueless as to why everyone else is in a coma. Like, what's...
Oh,
Guys.
no. So he knows it's the weekend and he was just kind of, I think I want to be awake and watch TV, or I want to fuck around, so I'm going to totally ignore my little alarm clock thing.
No, yeah, this one it wasn't. It was Friday. Well, it was Friday morning, and usually he's pretty good, but he has also just been walking around crying, and we've had to wake him up. And
Oh.
this is what I used to do. One time I slept walk. My mom was like, what are you doing? And I went into the bathroom, and she followed me. I sat on the toilet. I was like 10 when this happened, and I held my hand up at her, like all 5 fingers. I was like, hi. And then I peed on them. And then I went, what happened? And she went, you peed on your hand. And I was like, why? And she was like, I don't fucking know. I don't know if I told you, like, we think it started again because a few weeks before we left, I would wake up with these huge scrapes on my body again, which is what used to happen when we first moved in together and when I lived with my parents, and like deep bruises on my shins and on my thighs and stuff. I think I get up and literally fall down the fucking stairs. And then I just come back up and I'm like, oh, that's fine. Time for bed. But Travis is like a dick. Like one of the first weeks we lived together, I woke up with bloody knuckles and hands, and I looked at him like, did I hurt you? And he was like, what the fuck happened? And the only thing we figure out is that one of the closet doors was broke.
You need to get, like, you know how people have those cameras in their living rooms now to, like, watch their dog? You need that.
Yeah, but I can't watch that back.
It would be terrifying to watch you come out of your room in the middle of the night, just like a lone figure, just wandering the fuck around. It would be terrifying.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can handle it.
But what's more terrifying, though, knowing that it's happening or watching you do it?
I pretty much know it's happening just by the fucked up shit that's, like, by the time we made it to Mexico, my leg, the guy from Wisconsin who I told to take the dick out of his mouth because he wouldn't stop talking, but we were there, it was our second day, and he goes, what? Who the hell beat you up? And I still have like these bruises all over my leg that we don't know where they came from. But I'm super klutzy, but yeah, I think it started again. I don't know why, but I'll get the camera. I just can't watch it. I can't see my glowing eyes in the dark on some fucking night camera.
As you're like
I think I'm gonna see
zombieing around.
Yeah, no.
Did you see, there was one I saw on Facebook of a video, someone had a video in their room and it showed like this chair slowly moving around their room and then like, shit happening.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, ma'am. I will hear something in the middle of the night. It's probably Hunter now. But if I wake up in the middle of the night and I like look, I immediately have to like shut my eyes again because I think someone's gonna be like pop their head up and be like, "Hello, pretty lady."
Well,
like
it's gonna be fucking Hunter, and you're gonna scream your fucking face off. Like, that's terrifying to think that he's like wandering around, and all of a sudden he's gonna be standing right there. Yeah, he's your kid, but also, what the actual fuck?
Do you think that he and I are like stepbrothers when they're just walking around the kitchen?
Absolutely.
Flailing shit
And
Doritos
she's
and
like,
crap.
are there pillows in the oven? It's gonna be Travis and Oliver like, oh no, Mom, put her purse in the fridge.
Oh no. I used to eat. The problem in high school when I lived with my parents is that I would wake up with food everywhere in my bed. I'd wake up with like crushed cookies everywhere, or the Reese's was when I lived with Travis, but whole bowls of cooked ramen spilt somewhere. Like I would just wake up.
At least you cooked it.
Yeah, I cooked it. I'll eat that shit raw. That shit's good raw. But when I moved in with Travis one morning, I woke up and he woke up first and he saw brown shit spread everywhere in the bed. And he's like, oh no, I'm dating a bird. Like, no. He was like, babe, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, I don't know. And we found a bag of Reese's. He brought that home from J&B. He bought it on the way home and put them in the freezer to have the next day. I was already in bed. I had no idea he'd even bought in fucking Reese's. My fat ass got up. I hope there's fucking cups in the freezer.
You like sniffed them out.
Yeah, they were just smashed and like the bag leaked a little bit from my hot body just fucking laying on top of them. I'm a mess. Anyways, this beer is delicious, man.
Yeah, I don't think I can finish the whole thing, but yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
You didn't? Because, oh shit.
It's already gone?
It's gonna be a good night.
Did you finish it?
If you go ahead, take a look about halfway up that moped wheel. I've definitely drank it from a fair amount. We only have one beer left.
Yeah, are you ready to go?
I'm not. I'll stay here all night. I'm in bed, bitch. I'm drinking a beer in bed.
That should have been your last stop.
I know, but Trav's watching some dumb. I don't know the name of it, and I'll figure it out. But he's been watching this fucking show for 8 years now. I swear to God. You know, usually like if someone's watching a show, you could just like sit down, bop in, and you could just kind of follow what's going on. Like you don't know all the details, but you could watch it. You know, like whatever. Oh, this is a cool scene. I can't watch it because the main character is Edgar Allan Poe, but he is not Edgar Allan Poe. He's a robot. But he's also not a robot because he used to be a human who became a robot who chose to be Edgar Allan Poe. But Travis doesn't want to talk to me about any of Edgar Allan Poe's work.
I'm so confused already.
Oh, you are? Me too. I'm like, oh, I like Edgar Allan Poe. I like Monkey Foot. That's a great book. I like him a lot. And he's like, but he's not Edgar Allan Poe. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? That's Edgar Allan Poe. He's like, well, he is, but he's a robot. I was like, oh, that's cool. Why are they making robotic old fucking authors? He's like, well, he was a human, but he chose to be a robot and then picked Edgar Allan Poe as his skin. I'm like, can you fucking leave? Like, I don't understand. What the fuck is going on? I don't get it. And it makes me upset, and I refuse to sit in the room with him anymore. Quarantine myself from you and your dumb shows. Yeah, I watch Glow. He's like, this is very unrealistic wrestling. I'm like, I want a divorce. Get out of here. I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Right. Anyway, you watch your shit, I watch my shit. Don't worry about it.
Just watch something better. Like, why are you watching? Well, I'll have a show recommendation for you the next beer. All right, let's move on to the next beer.
Okay.
Bars are going to close soon. It's the government shutdown. Oh, that was last night. Government shutdown last night.
Yep, it did.
Oh, good thing we own these homes. All right, I'll see you in your next. See you at the next pub,
Okay,
my laddie. Bye. All right, welcome to our final pub location.
Our final stop.
Are you drunk or not?
Yeah, I'm pretty much drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Me too. Are there birds there?
I'm in the garage. I have baby chicks. Is it really annoying? Should I go back inside?
No, it's so cute. It's like delightful.
There's little baby chicks in the garage.
I love that. That's so much better than that fucking rooster just screaming in the background. Karen!
He's on his, well, I can't say his last days because it'll be longer than that, but I do have a little, I specifically ordered a little rooster chick, so I've got a little chick that I'm going to force to love me, and eventually we'll get rid of the asshole and, like, replace it with this other new one.
I would. That's great. That's a great day. I'd like to be there when he's driven off. No, it sounds like springtime where you're living. Like you're fucking Cinderella, and the birds are going to start bathing you.
There you go. I mean, they're not. They're just really scared chickens, but
they just want you to chew up some worms and spit it in their mouths.
I'm not going to.
I mean, they're kind of asking for it. You're their mommy now. So, well, final location for me is my living room. It's far less warm than my bed. Oh, I just had a husband walk by. Hello, husband.
Hello, husband.
You want to say hi?
Hello to all my supporters. I'll be back in 2021.
No, you don't have any. There's no fan clubs. We don't even have one. He's cute. I had to wake him up off the couch so I could sit here.
You couldn't just leave him there and see if he woke up?
Oh, well, No, because this Edgar Allan Poe show was screaming, and I was like, babe, can you pause this because you're asleep? And he was like, yeah, I'm just going to stay here. I was like, cool, I'll sit on the floor right next to you. Like, that's no big deal. And he's like, I'll get up. And I said, how was Edgar? And he goes, don't fucking make fun of my show. I like it. And I was
Don't
like,
fuck with Edgar, man.
all right, what's our final beer? Yeah.
Okay, so the last beer is called Above the Canopy. It is a hazy double IPA from a Prize Brewing. And it's gonna be fucking delicious. I love hazy IPAs. And it is 8.3% alcohol. It is, let us see, what does it say on here? It says, set course for a tour de force of double dry hopped Nirvana. Packed with Mosaic, Samba, and Amarillo hops, you may want to savor this in total solitude, which conveniently enough, we fucking are.
Yeah. Well, savor it in solitude. I feel like savor it means drink slowly because it's going to be bad. This is the only one that I think is going to be bad.
Why? No, it's not. So I really like the hazy IPAs. It's similar to the first one that we did, the Hefeweizen. Usually kind of fruity or tropical, and it's not quite as hoppy, but it's also not fucking Coors Light. So it's got a little bit of hops to it. So I think it's going to be probably delightful.
What is this graph on the side there? That makes no sense to me.
I think if you look at where it flares, so it flares up toward the citrus and the tropical and the fruity and away from the bitter and the floral and the resinous.
Okay, I get it now. It just seems like a weird way to do a graph.
Yeah, maybe that's a thing, and I
It
just
looks
don't
like
look
the
at a lot of
bat
beer
that started
graphs.
the coronavirus. You agree with me. I can tell by your laugh. You see what I see.
No, it looks like a person that, what is that paragliding or whatever, you put on the wings and that you jump from a plane, and that's what it
A
looks like.
human bat?
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, hang gliding.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it
or
looks like.
paragliding. Those dumbasses that are like, I am bird. No,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
not.
gonna
You're
put
gonna
on this
die.
weird jumpsuit and jump off of a building, and it's gonna be super cool. No, you're
I
gonna
love when
die.
they get stuck in trees and the news are like, he was there for 18 hours. I'm like, yeah, goddamn, he fucking deserved it the whole time. I hope he thought about what he did the entire time. Why are you paragliding, sir? You're 47 years old. No. It's cheers to you, madame.
Cheers.
Can I clank my computer screen?
Yeah,
Yep, I did it. Mm-hmm.
it's good, man.
It's good. No,
You
it's
hate
actually
it.
not that bad. It's not as hoppy as I thought. When I saw double IPA, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, the hazy. The hazy makes it better. I can't say that I've become a beer snob, but I kind of have enough to say that I can't drink Coors Light anymore.
I'm so sorry. I love you. I love you so, so much. But you're like, not to say that I'm a beer snob, but I kinda am.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a snob. I would just say that I have had good enough beer to know that that's just straight garbage and I can't drink it anymore.
I've been telling you guys that since before your wedding, and then you served it at your wedding, and I was like, guys, this is bad beer. And you're like, fuck
We
you.
didn't. I
Coors Light
mean,
is
it was
life.
an option.
No, you
It was
guys are
an
big
option. It
fans.
wasn't required. No, well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't do a keg stand.
Did I? Yeah. Sorry.
Maybe. Did you? I don't remember.
I think I might have. Yep. Travis is nodding his head yes to me. He's across the room eating a bowl of ice cream.
What? Ice cream? Well, you need to tell me
can't
more about
remember
your
those words.
vow renewal.
Oh yeah, that was so cute. I kind of wish we would have had people there with us. This is a great story, so I'll share this and then we'll end it. It'll be 5 minutes. So I woke up. Travis had breakfast delivered to the room, and there was a big, beautiful like gift box of roses. It wasn't even in a vase. It was like neatly tucked into this really cool gift box. It was ridiculously cute, and there was like a hummingbird, like a blown glass hummingbird. It was
Yeah, I
ridiculous.
saw that. It was like draped over the front of it.
Yeah, I thought it was a necklace. My head's too big. It would not go on. It would never go on. So I'm just gonna make an ornament out of it. But then he had a cute card, and then we had fucking massages, which was really sweet and which was fun, and we had like a really nice relaxing day together, and we got ready. So we knew we were gonna be doing this since November, that we were gonna renew our 10-year vows, and I was like, you have to fucking rate them because both of us were pieces of shit at our wedding. I think we already talked about this in the podcast. I was like, you have to take this seriously. And so every few weeks, I'm like, have you started that? And he's like, no, babe, it's written in stone. And I was like, okay. And I was like, babe, you have to really write them. And being paranoid, like, you need to work on that. Like, seriously, you have to work on that.
But I mean, in all reality, it was just like you two together. So it's not like he's.
It was more of a promise we made to each other that we would try harder than we did at our actual wedding, which is when we should have tried the hardest. Sure. So it was like, let's do a redo. We're older and more mature now, so we've gone through a lot of shit. Let's just take the time.
Yeah.
So every time I asked him, he'd like point to his head. He's like, "Got it," and I'm like, "Fuck, okay." We get to the trip. I start asking him frequently, like, "Do you need to like write those out by hand, or are you gonna use your phone?" And he just kept saying it's written in stone. And then he would make jokes randomly by pointing to rocks, being like, "There's my vows," and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So then the day of, I was like, I need like 20 minutes just to look over mine. Because at this point, I'm thinking mine are way too fucking long. Like, this guy's going to go off his memory or make it up on the spot. So I was like deleting shit off of my own. Like, this is a novel. And he's like, you haven't even written yours yet. And I was like, no, you can clearly see I have assload of words here. I don't think you wrote any. And he's like, oh, it's all written in stone. So whatever, we meet the wedding girl. We get our pictures taken, which were, oh my god, so fucking beautiful. We had the most beautiful pictures taken, which I was so glad that we did that.
So cute. Yeah.
They're better than our own wedding pictures.
That's not true. Your wedding pictures were beautiful.
They were, but now we're just better. We're just better looking. So I'm better looking, so I feel better about it. So we meet her in the lobby like 5 minutes before we're gonna do it, and it's like it's not silly, like it meant a lot to us, but there's nobody else there, so it's just us. And we walk out there, and I was like, oh, can I hand you my phone because I need to read my vows off of that? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, Travis, give her your phone so that you can read your vows off that. And he goes, it's written in stone, babe. And I was like, I don't fuck. So I turned to her, I was like, he didn't write any. And she's like giggling or whatever. So we get there, we do the whole, it's so cute. It's on this beautiful gazebo with like, they put all this like white linen all over it. It was so fucking cute. So I do mine first, and then it's Trav's turn, and I was like, looking at him like a smartass, and he's like, it's written in stone, babe. And he reaches in his back pocket, and he pulls out an envelope, and I was like, holy shit, he's got something written.
He's got some shit.
He's got some shit in his pocket. He made a fucking like Hallmark card of our wedding picture with the date, with the resort name, and inside was typed the whole thing, and he had written it like fucking 2 months ago.
So cute. So, but wait, so did you write yours ahead of time then?
Yeah, I wrote mine ahead of time, but didn't think to have to put it in a fucking card. I just left it on my phone. It was really good. I will send you it. I'm not letting myself not get credit. Those were fucking great. Travis bawled like a little bitch. He cried so damn hard.
Oh, see, that's why you needed somebody to be there to like take a couple cute ceremony pictures.
She did. She's going to be emailing them to me. It was so cute. Well, his were really, really great. And I had to like dig these sharp Cardi B nails into my fucking eye socket so that I wouldn't cry and ruin everything. So I was like, oh my God. And then I would just hurt my eyeball to stop it and like bite my cheek. Don't do
because, it. I mean, that seems logical. It's totally fine.
Yeah, you wouldn't have shed a tear. The whole thing.
Absolutely not, no.
You could watch the birth of Christ and you'd have been like, oh.
Well, the birth of Christ. Shut the fuck up.
No, he did amazing, and it was so cute, and it was so much fun to like I wasn't wearing like a long dress, but it was clearly that we were there doing something, and so we got like a ton of congratulations, and then they'd be like, "Oh, did you just get married?" And we're like, "No, we've been married 10 years," and then we got all the, oh, "But you're so young. Look at your little baby faces," and I'm like, "Thank you, Beach. I'm wearing so much concealer and expensive products."
I fucking know. I paid a lot of money for these products.
It was great, and I recommend anyone who's celebrating like a big anniversary because it just felt so good to like say nice things to each other, you know? I also forgot to mention they had us do like, we didn't even plan any of that, and maybe because all their weddings canceled because of the coronavirus. They're like, let's just give them a bunch of extra shit. So we did like a sand ceremony that we got to take home, which was super fucking cute, and shook up on the plane and is now just one color. And then they took us over to a cake cutting, which was adorable and looked very similar to our fucking wedding cake, which creeped us out a little bit. But it was so cute. They tried so hard, and we had the best night ever. Why get them down for 10 more years? And they gave us a bottle of champagne, and Trav fucking hates champagne. So I just walked around and chugged that shit.
You down that shit all on your own.
Oh, yeah. And then we got to our room, and they gave us another one. So then I took that one down to the hot tub with the rest of our friends, and Travis got the joy of shaking a bottle and spraying it.
Yes.
He had the best time ever. It was a kid in a liquor store. So happy. Our Jersey friends and our Utah friends and Chemo Queen from Wisconsin, and then the LA folks. Yeah, met the best group of people, and we're all going back again next year. Hopefully, when this is all done for like a short weekend.
That's like always how any of your trips go. Like you just automatically meet awesome people, and you're like, these are my new best friends, and I'm gonna go hang out with them all the time. Like that's how any trip of yours goes.
That's because I talk to everybody. But, like, these ones were different because we were also all afraid at the same time that we wouldn't get to go home. It was a weird, like, it doesn't sound that dramatic, but it was like a weird situation to bond over because you're trying to have the best time of your life, but also everyone's getting messages from home and there's like a clear panic around you. So it was like really weird mix of like happiness and terror. I've drank a lot of beers. Will you tell me something about yourself?
I really like this beer. It's delicious. Oh, you know what I have for you? I have the next Smut Club book for April.
Yeah, tell me all about it. Ooh,
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. It's called Thunder. By an author named Willow Summers, and this is the one. This is kind of a pen name for her. She's an author that I already like love all of her other books that she writes, and now this is like her smut name. So the book is called Thunder, and it looks like it is. The series is called The Big Dick Escort Service.
I'm sorry, I have to pull my microwave.
So the little blurb here says, "Welcome to Big Dick Escort Service." I keep saying escort service. If you need a date, we've got you. If you need whining and dining, we've got you. If you need a night you'll never forget, buckle up, Buttercup, because that's our specialty. We'll give you what you need as hard as you need it.
I mean, way to just put your brand out there instead of calling it like BD escorts. You're just like Big Dick Escorts. Like, hell yeah. We'll get through this. And we have a great smut coming and many other all we have is time now to think of ideas.
So many ideas. I hope you come up with ideas because I never have ideas.
I just realized the funny story, but I don't think we have time to tell it.
It just depends on how much you want to edit this shit.
10-year wedding anniversary. I'll make this very quick. I was given more champagne at this restaurant called Dragons, and I talked with my hands to other people with my hands very expressively.
So, but wait, like, are we talking like puppet hands or
no?
sign
Like I'm
language?
conducting a fucking orchestra. Like I am in front of the fucking Sydney Opera House, and I'm in charge, and I'm whipping my hands around to explain to everyone how pretty and how great I am. That's what's fucking happening. And I knock a glass onto my own lap, all over my white dress. Thank God it was white wine. Have to go to the bathroom. Then all the staff, because they're hired to be extra polite, are getting me hair dryers and being over fucking nice to me. And then they give me more wine, and then they let me leave with my cup. I drop it. You have the story mixed up. This is when I sat down at that one table in the entryway, knocked it over again, but this time it didn't shatter. It just like bounced around the fucking marble flooring.
You knocked it over more than once?
Oh, 100,000 times I've dropped glasses there. I'm a klutz, and I wasn't even drunk yet. This wasn't even when I was drunk, because we didn't drink all day because they wouldn't let you with the spa. I wasn't even drunk. So then I bounce that cup over. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, I pick it up, and two girls behind the coffee counter look at me like, girl, you're gonna get plastic soon. Like, don't do that. It didn't break. So we go outside. We have more drinks. We're having the best time ever. We did karaoke that night. Didn't drop a glass in karaoke. And then finally, we're going up to our room. It's the end of the night, and I'm carrying up our last 2 glasses of champagne to our room, and get out of the elevator and fucking kapoosh, shatter both of them. Have to call our butler, apologize 100,000 times that I've broken glass everywhere. They're half like capacity right now. They don't need this shit. Tom, we'll be right up, Mrs. Tom. Did anyone give me a wine glass that rest of the trip? Nope, I was given a plastic wine glass. I'm not kidding.
They were like, "Don't trust that bitch."
Did they stop using glass? And Trav's like, no, you dumb bitch. Like, you've broken so much shit here. Even at the nice dinner, they didn't even give me the one. I think I got one glass one. No, that one was plastic. It was just nicer plastic. Didn't even have a stem.
Just cut off.
One of the servers was like, Mrs. Helm, I'd like to send you back to your room with the rest of this bottle. I was like, great, I'll take it with me. And they're like, no. We send it to your room. I was like, oh, okay.
That's hilarious. No, ma'am. No, honestly, we'll handle it from here.
The manager there that was there the night I broke 4 of them that was like, no, she can't. Sorry, don't let her leave here with that. And at breakfast, I tried to leave at breakfast with my mimosa, and they would grab my hand before I even walked out of the breakfast place. They'd dump it in a fucking solo cup.
You just were walking around with like a red flag, like no, that bitch.
Travis is walking around with fucking crystals fucking everywhere. It's for better. I mean, at least they didn't put a fucking foam noodle around my waist. They should have, but they didn't. Also, oh my god, this was the one I was going to tell you. Oh no, I'm bummed. It's been too long.
I mean, you're the one that has to edit this, so you can decide.
Okay, it's only 11:30. Oh, great. We were in a pool. We were hanging out with Utah. It was our last day there, and we met this other group of people who had been going there for 8 years together, and they met there the first time.
Oh.
I'm not what's the graceful? Graceful's the word. I'm not graceful.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure we already established that.
Oh yeah, just terrible klutz. There's like this slanted ridge to the pool that they just like kept pulling themselves up on and like gracefully kneeling on like little mermaids, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm cool. I'm gonna kneel there. I'm athletic enough to pull my body up on there, so I did it. And they had all these towels laid out because there's like grit on there, like slippery, so you don't slip. Yeah, which I did 40 times. I kneel up on one of their towels, and I'm sitting there probably 10 minutes talking to these women and their husbands or whatever. They're all really funny. We're having a great time. I stand up, and the guy goes, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And to the men, look at the towel and look at me with like the scariest eyes on earth. And I look down, and this towel is completely covered in blood.
Oh no.
And then I was like, oh my God. And I look at them again, and they instantly get that, did this bitch just get her period look on their faces? All I could yell out loud was, I didn't get my period. The girl goes, oh my God, your leg. So they laid towels down for protection from the grit. So instead of that, on the way up, I catch the side grip from the inside of the pool and cut the fuck out of my knee. And then I just kneel there like a mermaid, just fucking Ariel bleeding everywhere. Like, I'm so cute. I'm just sitting here. I'm cool. Be my friend. Fucking blood. They didn't want to talk to me at all. That was that. Those were my fun stories. I really enjoyed our 4-hour conversation. All right, my love. Well, I look forward to your smut episode, and we'll have plenty of fun this month quarantining and coming up with great content to entertain you.
So exciting.
All right. Well, I love you. I miss you.
I love you too.
I don't know why I did that voice. Let me do that over again.
It's okay, I'm into it.
Okay, good. Thank God I don't have it in me to come up with another accent. I can't just talk normal. All right, I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.